You're watching Taboo Tea with Katie, a space created to encourage honest exploration of topics we often avoid, whether with ourselves, our family, or within our community. This space isn't a replacement for therapy, but it is a tool for learning, reflection, and growth. My prayer is that you'll walk away with a clearer understanding of yourself, feel seen and supported, and leave with practical strategies to help you navigate whatever season you're in. Hey y'all, I know it's been a minute. I took a break this summer from filming episodes, and I want to pause right here just to reinforce something that is so important. Rest is not a reward, it is a requirement. And yet, the guilt that I had about not showing up was very real. Not because I didn't want to rest, but because somewhere deep down, I still wrestle with the voice that says, if you're not producing, if you're not serving, then you're not doing enough. And that, my friend, is exactly why we're talking about mom guilt today. Because whether you are a mom, a bonus mom, a caregiver, or just someone who always shows up for others, you know what it feels like to hold it all together and still wonder if you're doing enough. I'll take a sip to that one. So let's say you're killing it at work, and then all of a sudden the school calls. Your kid is sick. Bam, there's the guilt. You finally take 5 minutes for yourself, and then someone hits you with that must be nice guilt. You didn't breastfeed, or you did and you hated it. Guilt. Your kid struggles in school, and suddenly you're questioning your whole parenting career. You guessed it. Guilt. You feel bad for working. You feel bad for not working. You feel bad for needing space. You feel bad for wanting more than motherhood. And God forbid you do something like go get your nails done. Suddenly you're the worst person in the world just for breathing. Mom guilt is a straight up scam, just like people pleasing. It doesn't care that you're human. It only allows for perfection. And last I checked, perfect doesn't exist. So why are we all out here still auditioning for this role? Mom guilt is that persistent nagging feeling that no matter what you do, it's not enough. Your child's every challenge is your fault. And you should have been able to prevent every tear, every tantrum, and every missed opportunity. The root of this issue: shame, control, perfectionism, and fear of judgment. We've been conditioned by culture, community, and even religion to believe that being a good mother means self-erasure. If you're not exhausted, anxious, or constantly pouring out, you must not care enough. But God never asked you to lose yourself to be a mother. In fact, Isaiah 40:11 says that he gently leads those who have young. Translation: God doesn't push mamas to the edge. He doesn't shove us into exhaustion, guilt, or burnout. He leads gently because he knows that raising little humans is already some heavy work. And if it feels like you're drowning in motherhood, that's not God's design. That's the weight of expectations that he never put on you. Mom guilt grows in silence and shame. It rarely shows up loudly, at least at first. It starts as a whisper, a nagging thought that you're not doing enough for your kids, that you should be more patient, more creative, more something. But when you don't talk about it, that whisper just gets louder, and the silence becomes the perfect soil for guilt to take root. Now, shame steps in as the fertilizer, and instead of viewing your mistakes or shortcomings as part of being human, shame says it's further proof that you're a bad mom. And because shame thrives in the dark, you hide these struggles, thinking other moms have it together. This isolation just creates a loop, and the more you hide, the heavier it feels. The heavier it feels, the more you hide. But healing grows in honesty and grace. Breaking that cycle starts with bringing guilt into the light, talking about it with safe people, naming it without judgment, and remembering that worth isn't earned through perfect parenting. Once it's exposed, shame loses its power and guilt becomes something you can work through instead of something that works against you. And let's keep it 100. A lot of moms look strong on the outside, but they are carrying invisible guilt that's eating them alive. I've sat across from mothers in therapy, women who are loving, protecting, providing, and still feel like they're failing. Why? Because guilt is a master editor. You could be present 90% of the day, but mom guilt, it will zoom in on that 10% where you crash out. You could have sacrificed your time, you have sacrificed your body, sometimes even your dreams, and the guilt will still whisper, you should have done more. What else you got to give? So here's what we need to normalize. Motherhood is hard, yes. It's holy work, but it's also heavy. You are not weak for needing help, and you are not wrong for missing the woman that you were before kids. You're also not broken for wondering, am I enough? If you're even asking that question, it's proof that you care, and that matters. I've heard so many clients say, I just want to be a better mom. But here's the thing, you already are. The more you show up, the more you learn, the more you grow, even when it's messy, the better you are. Your kids don't need the perfect. They just need you to be present, human, and real. So let's talk about some ways to realign yourself, some practical steps for dealing with mom guilt. First of all, I want you to take out that journal. It's my favorite thing to have you do, right? I want you to reflect on what it looks like or what you believe it looks like to be a good mom and who taught you that. And then I want you to pray for God to help you to release that pressure to be perfect and to teach you how to be a mom with both love and limits. And then I want you to write yourself a grace letter, a short paragraph that encapsulates everything that you did this week. And if you want to go a little bit further, here's an additional reflection question for your week. What unrealistic expectations are you holding yourself to as a mom? I also want you to take care of yourself. Do one thing this week just for you without guilt, whether it's resting, laughing, or just being still and taking a break. Let it be a seed of healing and not a reason to apologize. Mama, you're not crazy. You're not selfish. You're not failing. You're human. And God designed your kids to have you, not some Pinterest perfect, over perfectionist performing version of you. So the mission for you is to stop mothering from an empty place and start asking yourself, what would it look like for me to mother from a place of grace? You're allowed to be whole and a mom. You're allowed to grow while they grow. Your kids don't need perfect. They just need you, present, loving, and whole. So I want to thank you for watching. Now, if you have any questions or want to chat more, please use the link in the show description to get in touch with your girl. And leave a comment if there are topics that you want to see discussed. And please don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss out on future episodes of Taboo Tea. Till next time.